think in that piece of square tubing I need to just grind it a little bit more because I don't think it's setting in the cut all the way out there. It looks like, so it's just a little off, but just some touch-up work, and I think I'll put it in there. I'm debating whether I want to straighten that shaft. This shaft is the bent one that I first tried using for the roller. So I was thinking about maybe trying to find the bent spot and running a bead on it, straighten it out a little. So I found the curve in the shaft here. As you can see, it's pretty good right through there. So I'm going to run a bead about that distance along that chalk line, and hopefully it will pull it straight a little bit. I'm not going to try to get close to perfection here by any means. But anyway, so I'm going to run a bead on there, and then I'll come back, turn the camera back on because I'm not going to show the welding, and we'll see how much closer it is to the table here. And there's the bead. Not bad. Nice flat bead. Looks like all the slag came off in one piece too. Is it any straighter now? Let's wait for it to cool too, because it actually takes a little bit. I don't know. That might be it. Might have to run another bead, get it all the way down. Apparently I made that bead a little wider. Didn't get quite as far as my first run. See if that shaft comes down and touches the table. See a little bit of light under it yet. Yeah. Oh. Must have a bend out there in the end of that shaft. It's keeping me from laying flat. Oh yeah, I can see it here. Alright, I'm going to mark this real quick and then I'll show you this bend out here. After changing my mind several times, I think that area is where I need to weld. And it kind of makes sense because it looks like the something was right there, you know what I'm saying? That would probably be the bearing. I'm guessing it was running there, and that would be the spacer for the discs. So I'm going to run a bead there and see if that comes up any. Alrighty. There's just a little bit here to the right. Yeah, maybe that's out of the picture. Ah, still can't see under it. Anyway, that came down. That looks really, really good. flex neck gun made it so easy to get into those odd places and complete those welds. I could reach almost all the way around, and when I got done and set it back over, I just had a couple little spots where I had to run a short little bead just to finish it off. There's no way I could have done that with a regular necked gun. I guess next I am going to start building the blocks out here that this thing will pivot in. My dad just came through the shop and he looked at that and said, "Oh, you're building a Flintstone car, are you?" Sure, why not, right? 7/8 drill bit. Be a little slow. The other thing about this drill bit, it's so long it shakes everywhere. I wonder if I shouldn't speed that up just a little bit. That chip, but just doing it on the top side. The bottom side is just little flakes coming out. I don't think that 3/4 horse motor is liking this. Depending on where I get in there at, I'm bouncing around somewhere around 5.8, 5.10. Oh, sorry, 0.5. That's 1.508 or 1.510, somewhere in there. That's what I've been seeing. I think that'll be just about perfect for that shaft. I think I have the things in place where I want them now. Got the blocks on each end. Got the wheels about where I want it to be. Since those blocks are so thick, I wanted to use spray transfer on this. And I spent quite a bit of time last night playing around, trying to get it right. I kept getting a lot of porosity. I don't know if that's because I'm using 75-25 mix instead of 90-10, or if I was just having issues with my gun. I put my old gun back on the MIG welder instead of my flex neck, because that flex neck just can't handle those kind of amps and that much heat. And I was having trouble with porosity with my old gun in the past too, and ever since I switched to the flex neck, I haven't had any trouble with porosity. But anyway, I made a whole bunch of beads. See, porosity, porosity, porosity. Had lots of issues. Kept monkeying around, and I finally got it. You can see here, pretty darn good bead. I don't know if it's quite spray transfer. It doesn't quite have that hiss, or however you want to describe that, the buzz that I consider spray transfer to have, but it's a very nice looking bead. This thick piece got really hot. I think I got good penetration there. I tried to pass over it, second pass, and I got a little porosity, but very little splatter. when I weld these blocks on there, you can listen to it and you can decide for yourself if that's spray or not. I don't think I'm quite there. But whenever I adjusted my wire speed, either way, faster or slower from where I'm at, the weld just completely fell apart. So I'm very happy with that, so I'm just going to use that. Makes for a beautiful bead though. I'm very happy with that. I think I'm getting really good penetration. As you can see, there's not a lot of splatter, and yeah, I mean, there's definitely some heat to that. Well, I guess I'm a tire repairman today. I went to town yesterday, and so I decided to get a tube for this thing, and nobody has a tube in stock for this thing. So I asked the last place I went to then if they could order it, and the tube was $11. But they had this entire wheel assembly, the rim, the bearings, this exact same tire, tread, everything, sitting on the shelf for $15. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and put a valve stem in it, and maybe put some slime or gack or whatever that stuff's called in it, and see if that gets it. I think it's a good tire yet. I don't see anything horribly wrong with it looking it over. That wasn't too bad. I had a heck of a time getting the bead to seat, but I don't know. I might have wasted my time with this because this tire has a pretty big crack right there. I don't know if I can get it in the light so you can see that or not, but weather checked really bad. So we'll see. Put it on there. At least now I can get in and out of the shop a lot easier. I've got to get this project up. I have to get this project to that point where I can roll it out of the shop and get it out of my way real easy. Well, I'm back at it this morning, and every time I turn around I get the crap scared out of me. This couple keeps looking at me. These are some silhouettes I made for a historical trail. It goes right across our property. They requested I make a couple silhouettes so when they do tours of it they can set them out there. So my lady drew them and I cut them out with the plasma cutter, and we only had a couple days to get it done, so we just put some paint on it with a rattle can, and they're back for a paint job. The paint's coming off. Not surprised. We told them it probably wasn't a very good paint job. So one of these days here pretty soon I'll get out the sand blaster and blast them back down and have my painter go over them with some really good thick quality paint this time. They should last forever then. But anyway, yeah, it's amazing every time I turn around they scare me. Can't get the camera over far enough so you can see the hole drilling. If I come in from the other side, it's into the light and everything's black, so I guess you'll get the idea. I'm drilling a hole. I need to take a reading on that. Oh, dang it.